Hello, everybody. My name is Chase Euclid, and I am the college conservative. I'm in a different study room now because, while I was trying to study, what I found out was that all of the study rooms are actually stacked on top of each other. And my study room is on the fifth floor, and there's a study room on the fourth floor and the third. Well, the people on the fourth floor were just blasting music as loud as they possibly could, and it was coming up straight up into mine, so I could hear every little song that they were playing, just pum, 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 pum. Gets annoying. I realized that I really don't like loud, blaring music, no matter what the song is. So that's new. That's something I've learned. But what I'm going through today is super freakonomics. And one thing I want to talk today is one thing that the liberals like to use a lot, and that is the wage gap. How it's not actually a thing. I mean, there's a lot of different things that go into it, and it's pretty interesting. So I'm just going to go back just a couple of pages here into what I was looking at. So let's see here. Where is it? Okay, here we go. While gender discrimination may be a minor contributor to the male-female wage differential, it is desire, or the lack thereof, that accounts for most of the wage gap. The economists identified three main factors. 1. Women have slightly lower GPAs than men, and, perhaps more importantly, they take fewer finance courses. All else being equal, there is a strong correlation between a finance background and career earnings. Number 2, women work fewer hours than men. 10 years after completing their MBAs, which is a Master's in Business Administration, that's MBA, women in the study were working 52 hours a week versus 58 hours a week for men. Women take more career interruptions than men. After 10 years in the workforce, only 10% of male MBAs went for 6 months or more without working, compared to 40% of female MBAs. So 10% men take 6 months, 40% of women take 6 months. So the big issue seems to be that many women, even those with MBAs, love kids. The average female MBA with no children works only 3% fewer hours than average male MBA. But fewer female MBAs with children work 24% less. The pecuniary, I don't know how to pronounce that, but the pecuniary penalties from shorter hours and any job discontinuity among MBAs are enormous. The three economists write, it appears that many MBA mothers, especially those with well-off spouses, decided to slow down within a few years following their first birth. Now, this is a strange twist. Many of the best and brightest women in the United States get an MBA so that they can earn high wages. But they end up marrying the best and brightest men, who also earn high wages, which affords these women the luxury of not having to work so much. Does this mean that the women's investment of time and money in pursuing an MBA was poorly spent? Maybe not. Perhaps they never would have met such husbands if they hadn't gone to business school. Very, very interesting, huh? But there's one more angle to consider when examining the male-female wage gap. Rather than interpreting women's lower wages as a failure, perhaps it should be seen as a sign that a higher wage simply isn't as meaningful as an incentive to women as it is for men. Could it be that men have a weakness for money just as women have a weakness for children? Consider a recent pair of experiments in which young men and women were recruited to take an SAT-style math test with 20 questions. In one version, every participant was paid a flat rate, $5 for showing up, and another $15 for completing the test. In the second version, participants were paid the $5 show-up fee but another $2 for each correct answer. In the flat rate version, the men performed only slightly better, getting one more correct answer out of the 20 than the women. But in the cash incentive version, the men blew away the women. The women's performance barely budged when compared with the flat rate version, whereas the average man scored an extra 2 correct points out of the 20. Now, is that interesting or what? So whenever you're in a conversation with somebody and they start spouting off about, okay, I just realized I just did like anime eye glare. Now this is very interesting. But whenever you hear me, let's say, get into an argument and SJW or a new wave feminist starts spouting off about how wage gap, just remember, for men there is men are better incentivized for a competitive nature, especially when the reward for that competitiveness is something like cash and capital value, whereas women are more driven via family matters. I think that's pretty interesting. Super Freakonomics, everybody. Great book. Highly recommend. My name is Chase Huckel. I am the College Conservative. Make sure to like this video if you liked it, and share a couple of my older videos with your friends. I'm sure they'll enjoy it. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video.